Al,
baseball.
Tell us your physical story.
Oh my god!
Story of physical from PT school.
Have you heard this before? I imagine.
I've never heard
Start
this.
telling it, and I'll tell you.
So for PT school, there's like this, like at least for Cleveland State, there was this big list of like all the shots you had to get to make sure, like when you went to your clinicals, like you had to get like Hep B and like varicella,
rabies.
like not a rabies shot for sure, but a bunch of like shots, like you had to get all your vaccinations, and on that list was at the very least you had to get like a physical exam. And so I haven't had a primary care physician since I was in like high school. And so I'm getting into grad school, and I've changed insurances like twice. We've moved, and I don't have a primary. So I just called Cleveland Clinic, and I'm like, hey, I need a physical next week. I'm an idiot, and I put this off. Can you just give me someone? They're like, yeah, there's a physician. She's at Avon, and she's available tomorrow. I'm like, sweet, I'll go in. And I'll fucking say this lady's name because she molested me that day. Her name is Dr. Eat your heart out, bitch.
That doesn't sound like a porn
So
star.
So I'm sitting in this exam room, and she walks in. And normally, if you're in healthcare, you know this. If you're not in healthcare, you can probably experience this. The first thing they do is they get a quick history from you. They talk to you just about what's going on in your life, blah blah, and then they take your vitals. Very first thing they do. This lady comes in, and she's got, it's kind of a heavy-set Mexican lady. And I'm not saying that because it means anything, but it's just part of the story. Heavy-set Mexican lady, and she's got these big-ass, like, thick glasses. Like, big, black, thick glasses. And she walks in, and I'm not trying to be racist, but I'm going to do the accent because it's part of the story. And she goes, hello, Alex. My name is Dr. Neri Nixon. Now I'm doing an Indian woman. But whatever. She walks in. I'm not going to do the accent, but she's like, just so you know, this session's being recorded on these Google Glasses. It's a way for the Cleveland Clinic to monitor our sessions and make sure that, we're being good doctors, and it's a way for us to review ourselves. Do you care if I film you? And I go, I don't really care. Thinking it's going to be a routine physical. Grab my balls, cough, whatever. And check my blood pressure, whatever. So she's got these, I can't get over it, these fucking big glasses on, like bigger than mine and Ryan's. And they have this fucking big circular camera like right here. And she's filming me, and I said it's cool, but the whole time I'm like, this is like on a Cleveland Clinic computer somewhere. And it's still there to this day, I bet. And so she's asking me all these questions, and she's like, how old are you? And I'm like, I'm 25. And she goes, have you gotten your blood drawn yet? And I'm like, no. She goes, oh, you got to go get your blood drawn as soon as we're done with this. And I'm thinking, like, did she see something in my chart that, like something's, like, bad? Like, I need to go get it? And she's like, no, you're 25. You need to get that done. It's very important. And I go, okay, why? And she's like, well, that's just the age that we do it. And all of a sudden, she's really calm. And I'm like, this is so weird. Like, this lady's so weird. And put a Mexican accent on everything I'm saying now. And
so, go get your blood drawn.
Guten Morgen. No. So then she's doing the exam, and then I'm thinking, like, again, routine physical is they have you, like, stand, or you're sitting there, and they fucking grab your balls, like, cough, check for hernia, whatever. She goes, all right. And I'm sitting on the exam table, and she just goes behind me and lowers the head really quick. So I, like, sit back, and she goes, lay down. Like, kind of aggressive. And I was like, okay. So I'm laying down, and I'm not laying down, like, flat. Like, I'm laying down, like this. So my legs are bent over, and I'm just open, like, to the people that can't see it. My knees are bent over the end of the table, and then the rest of me is flat on this table. And so this lady goes, all right, take your pants off. So I go, okay. So I take my pants down, and now I'm sitting on this exam table, bare ass, and just butt naked with my pants around my ankles. And then she comes over, and she picks my dick up. And she picks it up like someone would pick up, like, a fucking bratwurst on the table. Like, she picks this thing up, and she's looking at it, like, she's looking at it from all angles. So she's just, like, no one can see this, but she's picking it up, and she's looking around like this. Just
She's
inspecting my
shit on the
dick.
glasses.
Yeah, it's just meanwhile, she's
zooming in.
filming this whole thing. So my
There's just close-ups of your dick.
dick on Cleveland Clinic computers. So, and she's not holding it by like a good part of my. She's holding it by the head of my dick. Like she's squeezing the head and she's picking it up. I've never felt more emasculated. Like I'll show you guys. This is how it was.
I thought you were.
It was.
Show us
it
the
was-
my chart.
It was like
Show
this.
us.
Like she's picking it up like this, and then she's like, "All right," and then she just drops it, and then she grabs my ball sack, lifts it up, and now she's not even feeling my balls. She's just looking at my taint. She's picking it up, looking at my gooch. Can't look good. I've never shaved my gooch, so it's just this hairy gooch. Probably stinks. Looking down there again, holding my ball sack like she's moving around meatballs on a plate. Like she's just no regard for the fact that they're my balls. Lifted them up, and like again, I thought she was like I've had people check for a hernia before. She's not checking for a hernia. She's just this lady just held my nuts in my dick, and then she goes, okay. She just goes, okay, grabs my hips on both sides and fucking flips me over on the table. I weigh, at the time, probably 210 pounds. And this fucking middle-aged Mexican lady grabbed me by the hips and flipped me over on the table. I'm sure I'm probably exaggerating, and I'm sure I helped her a little bit. But she flipped me over. So now my bare dick, no pants, is just touching the exam table, just getting squished by my body, and my bare hairy ass is up in the air. And this lady grabs my cheeks and just spreads my cheeks. She spreads them and then picks them up like this.
Any room at any time I would have rather walked into. In my entire life.
Yeah, like have you ever like gone to the doctor and then like you accidentally walk in the wrong room and you're like, oh sorry.
Like,
if any woman would have walked in and just saw my bare asshole, just spread cheek and who's looking at it? A Mexican lady with a Google Glass camera filming the whole thing. So she's again spreading my ass like hard, like just my whole butthole.
So you're just gaping.
Yeah, and I'm down on the table. I'm down on the table, defenseless, just like, just looking up, like what's going on? What's going on? And so she does this. She wiggles my butt cheeks in a few ways, looking like underneath the cheek, and then she goes, "Okay, sit up." And so I'm like, and I just grab my pants and I'm sitting at the edge of the table, and she goes, "You have a mole on your butt cheek," and I go, "Okay." Like that's what you found? You just looked at at my asshole. Like, you looked at my balloon knot straight in the eye, and that's what you found. Like I'm sure there's probably something more than just a mole there. So then she's like silent for like 5 minutes, just typing at the computer, and I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck just happened?
Did they take your vitals?
No! So that's the thing. So then she didn't take my vitals. So then, that's the next part of the story. She's typing and she goes, "Oh, I forgot to take your blood pressure." So she comes back. She takes my blood pressure. It's like 150 over 90. She goes, "Wow, your blood pressure is very high." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fucking devastated by what we just went through." Like, you just spread my asshole, and I've never met you before. And you filmed it. Like now, like there's a video of my butthole.
This is on Pornhub.
No doubt.
This is on Casting Couch Pornhub. I guarantee it.
Yeah, she didn't even work at the clinic.
No, the doctor walked in and be like, "Oh, I
The
guess
real
it's a
doctor
no-show."
walks in. Right
Yeah,
after.
yeah.
Dude, you could. This is in all seriousness. You could go on their website and give her a review.
I think I did. I don't know. I can't remember. But she took my vitals and it was really high. And I remember she's like typing at the computer and she like kind of lips to herself. She goes, "High blood pressure," and I go, "No, I don't. I've never had high blood pressure."
So, dude, but for real, when I
So that's
die,
the story of how I got molested at the doctor's office.
When I die.